Hello everyone, this is Hariom and we are today talking about the metaphor and imaginations, how we think, feel our life. And today I invite my guest, Mr. Fee. Hi Fee, how are you doing today?
Hi, Hariam. Well, Hariam, you are visiting me in my little writer's workshop. And it's winter time. Normally, the workshop during spring and summer, even in autumn time, is waiting for me to come here, but I don't. Now it's winter time.
Yeah, it's winter time.
And I'm coming a lot. I'm coming a lot. I even have my bed here sometimes. I stay here because I don't normally go to bed before 1 o'clock.
Oh, it's too late, isn't it?
I know. So, imagination and metaphor. Now, I was 17, 18 years old when it suddenly became clear to me that I am a poet. So I was much too young to even understand what I was saying. And yet I felt that it was true. That is a contradiction. It's a paradox. And so I was already something that I didn't understand.
Oh, it's quite interesting.
And yes, and I had to realize very soon that my excitement needed thinking about. And my feeling that it was right to tell to myself and to my friends that I am a poet was not as simple as that. Not, I'm saying, to write poetry or to write is not necessarily leading to being a poet at all, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so I am not 17, I'm not 18 years old, but I am 50 times 50 years plus 17.
Oh, that's
And half a century later, I'm coming to the world of metaphor and imagination. And I can say to you, for me, for example, in here is a poetry book.
Oh.
And there is a line in this poetry book which says, even the flesh on us,
Yeah.
or the time in the room, are metaphors. And so time, flesh, and blood, and space are very concrete, very real. We simply cannot even be here without our body's components. We cannot conceive of being not in time. We cannot conceive of not having space around. And yet at the same time they are abstract.
So, in short, like everything outside is inside us.
Everything outside is inside us, and everything inside, maybe not everything, but very much of that which is inside has outside equivalents, outside friends.
Yeah.
And or outside adversaries, then don't need to be friends always. So for me, the most important metaphor, the earliest metaphor, was the tree in the field, not the forest, not the whole forest, but the tree, the single tree, because I discovered that in the Middle Ages, for hundreds of years, the blacksmiths, at least in Europe,
Yeah.
when they made keys, they used the shape of the tree,
Yeah.
the trunk, the leaves, and the roots
Yeah.
to create that which opens the lock.
Oh.
And so I thought, why is this? Why did they choose the tree shape for this? And then I realized, aha, the tree opens the heavens with its branches
Oh, quite.
and opens the earth with its roots by turning and tells me how to stand strong in daily life.
Oh, I never imagined like that. I never imagined like that. You're talking about the top and bottom and the strength between them.
Yes, and then it goes on. At the same time, when I draw a tree, I feel, especially in the season when it is filled with uprising sap,
Yeah.
then there is a circulation. It circulates from the ground upwards, picking up the minerals. It comes up to the top and it rains back down like this
Yeah.
in a spray. And meanwhile, it absorbs the light and the wind from above, and it absorbs the minerals and the water from below. And so it brings all the four elements together. And it has the same structure like a magnetic field with the core and the magnetic force lines circulating.
Honestly speaking, I haven't imagined like that before.
Yes, but it is obvious. You can see it
Yeah.
with your naive eyes
Yeah.
in the diagram. You can see it.
Yeah.
And if you cut an apple, for example, from an apple tree, a fruit from an apple tree,
Yeah.
not horizontally but
Vertically.
vertically, then you can see the outside curvature and the inside making the core area, like in the magnetic field, again repeating itself. So I started to ask myself questions. How is it that psychological observations and physical phenomena, biological phenomena or phenomena of physics or of chemistry, can be used to explain one another? Of course, in the strict natural sciences, there is a certain code of behavior, namely to leave personal feelings, to leave personal opinion out, to make it as objective and repeatable as possible anywhere in the world by anybody. So individuality in that artistic sense, poetic sense, is not wanted in that context.
Okay.
But then comes the next jump for me now, or in the conversation, or in my biography, when my brother suddenly landed in a coma for 3 weeks.
Oh.
I was challenged with not mere playing about biological existence or spiritual existence. I was challenged by my great confusion about the very simple question, where is my brother now?
Oh.
When the doctors in those days, it's already more than 40 years ago, would not allow us to even come to the bed and see him lie there in this coma sleep.
Oh.
And so I started to study as much as I could about the relationship between myself or you, and how we live inside our bodies, with our bodies, or independent of our bodies. And so that created a lot of confusion inside of me, because it seemed to be initially a question that could not be answered, not answered in a satisfying way or objective way. But over the many years, and my brother came back after 3 weeks and so forth. I won't go into this.
Yeah.
But eventually, one other thing emerged, namely the feeling that, as a poet now speaking, I needed to create a new word for the relationship between my biological body and myself. Because I am, and that's the word now, I am indwelling. I am dwelling inside, so I'm calling it indwelling. I am an indweller. I am living in here. Oh, now suddenly I realize that the person that I am, who is speaking now, who is responding to your invitation, is a person who is deeply dependent on the cooperation of the physical body.
Yeah.
Because if I have toothache, if my finger hurts,
Yeah.
or something worse, I couldn't smile.
Definitely.
I couldn't speak freely. I would have to work so hard
Yeah.
to come to a free-flowing conversation.
Definitely.
Or if my speech, if my words, because too many teeth have fallen out, is not clear anymore, the sounds would be funny.
Definitely.
And you'd have to ask me many questions. So here I am indwelling inside this body. And so then we stay with metaphor and imagination. Then, after many years of pondering, writing poetry, living, I suddenly realized this is not good enough. I need to, or let's not say good enough, it's not a judgment.
Yeah.
I can make it bigger, because one of my earliest poems that I loved, not my own poem, but by somebody else, comes from a New York poet. And the poem is very small. And so I heard it, or I read it, and I knew it by heart straight away. And I will never forget it to my last breath. The stars are as far as your eyes can see,
Yeah.
and now comes and as near as your eyes are to you.
Amazing. That's very depth.
So you have a big invitation in this little poem. A big invitation.
The huge difference.
A huge difference becomes no difference. Is a question of relationship. Is a question of how you relate to your eyes,
yeah.
how you relate your eyes to the stars, and so forth. And so what I'm saying is, I began to realize with my joy to look at the night sky, to see the morning turn into the midday, the midday into the afternoon, the evening into the late evening, into the night. That itself became a metaphor for the life of a person. Morning, the birth,
Yeah.
and at midnight, the death. And through the night, the disappearance and a new birth in the morning.
Yeah.
But this is simplistic. This was my beginning. And that was not yet differentiated into nuance at all. That I can't go into great detail. But what I do want to say now is, I realized that in order to be at home, and now we are sitting in my study room.
Yeah.
I spent 2 months building this room when we bought this house, our first house.
Yeah.
And I changed everything in order to make this as what we see here.
Yeah.
I spent 2 months building, making floors, working hard, plastering, wallpapering, putting new timber into places, building the shelves and the furniture.
So like I have a question, how did you use a metaphor and imaginations here?
In order to feel at home. Because if I say I am at home,
Yeah.
that means I am inside my body. This is the first house.
Yeah.
House number 1.
Yeah.
But we are sitting now in house number 1 and in house number 2.
Yes.
2 houses. And
Yeah.
then we have another 2 houses to think about. So we have 4 houses. Namely, house number 3 is the whole universe around us.
Yeah.
And house number 4 is the imagination.
Oh.
It's in the Hindu tradition, it is the word of the gods.
Yeah.
In the Christian tradition is the Christian word of the God or the deity. And in the life of the 21st century individual, every single individual creates their own imagination, their own heaven, their own spiritual fantasy, trying to be truthful to the tradition, and at the same time being forced and invited to create their own number 4.
Like most of the time we spend in imagination, right? Most of the time we spend they're not in present moment.
Much time we spend in imagination. Much time. And whether we call it daydreaming or whether we call it imagining what we want to do in half an hour, or trying to remember something from yesterday so we can use it tomorrow, or communicating something to someone where we want to be helpful. We have to prepare the meeting, we have to prepare the best course of how we say things, and so on. Of course, we spend a lot of time. And as a poet, I have learned to come back to 2 words in this context. The words I am. I am who I am. I don't know who I am. I don't know who I am, but I am who I am. But I don't know who I am, so I have to do and to act and to create so that I see what my hands are doing. I can hear what my mouth is saying. I can see whether my eyes are turning this direction or that direction, or up to the stars, or down into the geology of the earth. And then I feel and I think and I ask questions, and I watch myself, and I slowly learn more about who I am.
That's great. Like, for example, we are living most of the time in imagination. So, for example, if you are not imagine everything, so how the life would be without imagination?
It's going to be unthinkable. It's unthinkable for me. It's unthinkable. There are many people who I believe have a poor imagination, or an imagination that is, I wouldn't call it poor. It's not free. It's not liberated. Why? Because, and that is my own explanation to myself. I don't know whether that is true, but for me it is true. Because I think we, the human being, is afraid to exist at all. It's a mystery how is it that we exist at all? It's very, very scary to think that we exist at all. How can that be? So underneath us, underneath our feet, seems to be a deep hole full of unanswered questions. And on top of that, we walk on a big carpet of unanswered questions. But many people want to hold on to the sense perception world and to the clear objects, to the values that are attached to the different objects, or even to the value of money itself for money's sake, without even understanding the meaning of money at all, but seeing it very narrowly as power and as capability to do this or that. But my answer to your question is no. Even those without imagination use it, but they don't think about it at all, but they use it because they live out of cultural habits, they live out of traditional repetition, they use shoes from the shelf that somebody has imagined and made, they use cars that have gone through a long process of creativity and imagination. Although they have been built by machinery, but even the machinery, every single machine has been created by imagination. Inescapable.
So,
Inescapable.
In your personal life, how do you use imaginations to make your life better?
It's not a question that how I use imagination. How does imagination use me? It's much more precisely a question. How I use imagination is I can...
Imagination is gonna use.
How am I inviting imagination? So one thing I do, for example, when I have bad thoughts, bad images, I treat them with respect, but I ask them, like visitors whom I do not want to see, to leave the house.
Definitely.
So, because there are lots of imaginations, for example, if I watch the evening news on the television, and I come up here afterwards by myself, I can sit here, if I am not careful, for 10-15 minutes and feel very sad, very full of the suffering images of the Palestinians, or of the Somali people, or of many, many others, whole countries, groups of people, individuals, people whose partners have been attacked or murdered, whatever. And I come up here and my imagination is dark, full of sadness.
So somehow the outer environment is going to be impact on your imagination.
But then I have to work through the clouds. I have to work through the clouds until I see the blue sky again. And I have to go to the shop where they sell hoovers for clouds. It's expensive because I have to plug it into myself, the hoover, and then hold it to my thought clouds and suck them all away, all the ones that I don't want.
So basically we just have to observe that cloud which we want to pick, right?
Yes, we have to learn.
It's going to be help you.
So, in other words, we have to, as all the wise people have always said, we have to take active part in the train of thought that runs through us. And it's not just one train of thought. It's a whole train station full of thoughts. And many of those trains can fly. Suddenly they turn into aeroplanes. And then they land again, maybe on the wrong platform. They can go underground and they turn into submarines, although there is no water. So we need to be very disciplined with our imagination, so that imagination does not become a wild garden. And then we have a conflict between what one could call a natural scientific life,
Yeah.
an objective, detached life, and a very individual, colorful, childlike spontaneity. That needs to be very much balanced. So there are one of, well, coming back though to the home, to the house. I am at home inside of my body. But I shall not be happy for very long if the house around me or the room around me is not making me happy. How can I live in somebody else's room when my own hands have not touched anything and put it into their place? If I live in somebody else's arrangements, impossible. How can I live in a garden that has a tree or a lawn and I haven't put a single flower in it? I haven't done anything to it. How can I be happy in a house and a garden when I am not interested in which direction the sun is rising, which direction the moon is rising, when is the moon coming tonight and when is the moon coming tomorrow, when did the moon come yesterday, which star signs are behind the moon? Whoa, is this Jupiter in Gemini? I could point my finger right now, although I don't see them. They are there. There's Gemini and down there is Jupiter, because I can have learned to see through the walls of the house directly into the sky. And I know the rotational tempo of those beings in house number 3. The universe is house number 3. House number 4 is the imagination. So we have to have a pause here. It's big subject, because it leads to one big question or answer or feeling, and that is, it leads to a sense that the Portuguese poet Fernando Pessoa, in my opinion, has put best in European poetry in the early part of the 20th century. He has a title for one poetry book, for one poem, called A Little Larger Than the Universe. I am a little larger than the universe. Now that could be the beginning of a career as a madman. But it's not. It is a deep spiritual realization. The paradox comes that I can only be like this because I have to pay attention to this small space here. So I just to make a full stop here, although it's never possible to make a full stop. It's impossible. It never ends. Even inside the full stop, as a poet, I ask myself, for example, what does the inside of a full stop look when I put it under the electron microscope? Is there anything inside the full stop? Not ink, yes, or maybe a pencil, graphite, no. I want to know what the imagination inside the inside my full stop is. And what did I see? I see Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man, which is the human being in a 5-pointed star inside a square surrounded by a circle. An old drawing by Leonardo, only a pencil sketch in red pencil, which is Egyptian in origin. It's not an invention by Leonardo da Vinci. So for me, even the full stop is not something that I treat lightly, not at all. But to make a full stop here, all this question of metaphor and imagination comes back to the fact that I need to be at home. And I cannot be at home if I do not meditate the power of metaphor, and if I do not meditate the power of imagination, because even a single word is a metaphor. In English they say, I am German, in English they say the prisoner who does wrong gets a life sentence.
Yeah.
If he is a murderer, for example.
Yeah.
When I do a poetry reading, I say to the people, suddenly, maybe after 40 minutes, when they don't expect it, I say, now, I will have failed my poetry evening tonight if you don't go out afterwards in order to get a life sentence, to do something that gives you a life sentence. And they are shocked. They think, what are they asking? Is he asking
different
me?
meaning, like one word, different meaning.
Yes, the word means what comes out of your mouth should be a life sentence.
Yeah.
And the English language has used two words and put them into prison. Life sentence, the two most powerful words. And so I have to change the word prison.
Yeah.
And I say, okay, then put it into a prism. Put it into a prism. Yes. Put it into a prism. If you get a life sentence and they put you somewhere, let them put you into prism. And then you have a rainbow.
Oh my God.
Inside
That's a huge difference. Like one word can change everything, isn't it?
One word suddenly changes everything.
Like, for example, we say like my son is king, right? So somehow we are correlating, right? The son is different identity. King is different identity.
Yes.
So
you have the sun. Yes. Yes.
Like we can say my son is lion, right? So lion is different identity. Sun is different identity.
Yes. You create an equation. Like in mathematics. The equation.
We always think like that.
It's natural to our human behavior. We have, for example, these equations: the sun, or the daughter, and the outer image, the crown for the king, or the lion as the king of the animals. It's only possible because when we speak that sentence, here in the middle of our neck is the larynx, the speech organ, the larynx. And the larynx is the equation sign between the head and the rest of the body. And they have to work together in order to come out with meaningful speech. So if the equation sign is not cleaned and polished and healthy, then the equation will either be tricky on one side, on the balance, or tricky on the other side of the balance. And in the end, the equation has to come up to zero when there is balance. And for that, I have to be zero all the time. So I cannot be selfish, egotistical. I have to make myself into someone who is always living next to nothing. Always next to nothing.
It's somehow related to spirituality, isn't it? Oh no, what do you think?
The spirit is behind the imagination. The imagination is like a wind, and the spirit blows that wind into me.
Yeah.
And if I am not careful, I get very bad spirits blowing very bad wind.
Yeah.
And make me consider very bad activities. So I need to always be vigilant.
Yeah. Like I have some interesting questions I prepared for this topic.
Don't kill me with those questions of yours.
No, I will not. Don't worry. Like, do we lose our imagination as we grow older?
Many people do. The pressure of daily performing, the pressure of fulfilling one's own position in daily life is largely a pressure created by oneself
Yeah.
in the expectations that others want a certain function from you, and you yourself want to prove to yourself that you can be an independent person who can pay for their own daily life, who can use their passions and their interests and their curiosities to make a toolbox from that, and then to find people in daily life who need the tools in that toolbox, and you help them and they pay you and you feel good about it. The English language says, I happen. I am happening, and therefore I am happy.
Oh.
Says the English language quite clearly. But I have to happen on my own terms. I must not happen under the thumb of an institution. I must not happen under the thumb of my wife. I must not happen under the thumb of my father or my mother. I must not happen under my own thumb.
Yeah.
And so many people don't pay attention to this, and they lose imagination.
That's main reason behind it.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's like cutting your own tree down more and more and more until there are no branches left.
Yeah. That's interesting. Okay, we will move to next question. How does imagination supports problem solving or innovation?
I think the method has to be looked at. If I have a problem, first I want to run away from it when I discover it.
Oh.
I think, oh no, I didn't want this problem now. Why doesn't it come tomorrow? Why didn't it ring me up and tell me it is on the way? But there it is. So I don't want it. So first I have to learn that some problems, let's call them problems, we might find a better word, challenges, surprises, they seem to come when we don't like it. So the first thing is we need to realize, is it one? We need to stop everything, or does it appear to be one and we can ignore it? But if we cannot ignore it, we have to ask it to come into the house like a stranger, and we have to serve it a cup of tea, and we have to study it, and we have to be friendly to it. Our problem has to become like a stranger who has to become a friend. And the answer to our problem will be strangely coming from the problem itself. It can't be pushed into the problem from outside. It has to come from inside the problem. There is a magical solution already coming with the problem. But we need to have the patience, and we need to keep walking round the problem like a hunter walks round an animal before shooting. Before shooting, because you want to cleanly kill the problem without pain, without shooting twice. And for that, you mustn't scare the problem. You mustn't shoot at the problem with anger. You have to be respectful, like a hunter of old who would give a thanks dance after the kill.
That's amazing reply. Just like we need to observe the problem, right, first, and then
absolutely, and live with it.
Come like a guest, right? And we have to decide how exactly we can.
Yes, we have to serve the problem. At least a sandwich. Usually it's more than that. Sometimes I still have problems now, technical problems about the building process of the house, which I have had for 2 to 3 years already. And I'm still making cups of teas and making sandwiches for my problem because I'm still listening and thinking. And I'm not going to start answering until I have got enough courage to start. And then I have found by experience, once I started, I may have 20% of an answer. The rest of the answer will surprise me by coming from the problem itself.
Definitely.
And then the problem will be my boss and will help me to come
with, to become your boss.
Yes, it will become my boss. It will teach me what tools and what methods I need to study and to explore. So the problem helps me to grow.
Yes, definitely.
That is the bottom line. The problem helps me to grow because the problem is resistance. And I can only grow when I have resistance, because no tree on the ground can become a tree if it cannot push up against the resistance of the hard ground. If the tree was to grow on water or on marshmallows, it couldn't get up.
There should be a depth roots, right?
Yes.
Otherwise, gone.
No, the problem is part of the world of resistance. And we ultimately, the word ego, our ego is the biggest problem, because the ego is a big resistance in the world which drives individual people round the bend and makes them confused, makes them either too big or too small, too loud or too quiet, too this or too that, too rich or too poor, too proud or too humble. The ego is the biggest problem. We see it in how countries behave against each other, how individuals, how a man and a wife, a husband and a wife, or children, daughters and sons behave, and so on. The ego is the ultimate problem, but the ego needs to be here as the resistance against which we learn to become not killers of the ego, no, but become, I call it, diamond polishers. We cut the ego nicely, like diamond cutters.
So let's make it some shape, innit?
Yes, and we give it shape and we make it transparent. Transparent to us, so that we can see through our ego. And now it wants to play another trick on us. But we have learned to see through the brick, which was black, and it's the same carbon as the diamond, which has been cut.
So it's up to us how we're gonna use it, ego.
Up to us. But the problem, as you first started the question, lies, of course, for most people, just in the physical world of daily life. True. But it always comes back to the question of how do I continue to be harmoniously at home? How do I continue to increase my harmony? How can I grow my harmony so it becomes wider and can include more people, more plants, more animals, more stones, more thoughts, more colors, more sounds, more future optimism? Yes, so it's not just on the outside. It is a cooperation from the outside aspects of our being and the inside aspects of our being. All the time. Again, the English language and German as well and other languages have the word harmony. If you cut it in half, you have harm. Harm is damage. But if you have oni, you have just a syllable. But you have harm, equation sign,
Yeah.
Only harmony.
Oh,
If you cut it, you have only harm.
that's why the harmony. Harmony, yeah.
Yeah, but in order to create harmony as a musical composer, you need to know about dissonances. You need about dissonances are sounds that clash.
Oh,
Because if you only have harmony, you fall asleep.
yeah.
You only fall asleep. It's like having 7,000 years of holiday, where everything flies to you even before you even want it.
Yeah.
You become ridiculous.
Definitely.
And so
Definitely.
you need dissonance, you need problems, you need resistance in order to compose the balances between that which flows and that which stops. And then we are in quantum physics, then we are in quantum optics,
Yeah.
in the nature of light, for example, in the nature of photons, flowing and particle,
Yeah.
wave and particle at the same time. That's us as well, because we are made from light.
Yeah.
So, you ask questions is terrible. You make me say all these things, which, though, thankfully, your own countrymen have said long ago in the Bhagavad Gita.
Oh,
They have said them long ago.
yeah.
They may
Bhagavad
have
Gita,
used
yeah.
slightly different words, different sentences, but the wisdom that was there then is still something that, as it is timeless, is here now.
Yeah.
We are sitting in it, like little children in a splash pool. And our questions and our conversations
It's just
are
like
like our hands splashing the water of wisdom all over. And half of the time we can't even see anything anymore because our face is full of splish splash.
So we need a still water. Steady, like,
Yeah, it's not where it should be. It's all over.
yeah.
So anyway, again, I break into imagination a lot. I use metaphor and imagination all the time. All the time. Because that's how I make sense. I can't make sense otherwise. And like a carrot makes carrots. and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We human beings, we are sense makers, but we, in my opinion, we cannot make sense if we are not nonsense makers as well, because we need contrast.
Definitely.
Those who make too much nonsense have a problem with the balance. Those who make too much sense have a problem with the balance. They may become tyrants.
Exactly. So we need to make a balance. Otherwise,
we have to be able to laugh at ourselves making sense. Because we know that tomorrow we know more than today. We will never be finished with our learning process, because we are in eternity. And inside eternity, every point inside eternity is both the middle and the beginning. There is no middle and no beginning. So it's better to consider where we are and who we are at the beginning of eternity. Just for practical purposes. So we know that the snowman, namely our physical body, I call it the snowman. The snowman melts. Eventually, is a puddle. And comes my wife, or comes somebody who likes to visit me, and all there is left of me is a puddle, because I myself melted the snowman from inside with my activity, with my passion. So it's not the bad universe. It is our own inner being melts the snowman so that we don't kill our neighbor from boredom, with boredom after 500 years,
Yeah.
when we never say anything new again for 200 years, because we stopped learning. So we are in eternity. Meanwhile, the snowman melts after 60, 70, 80, 90 years, 120 years at the most. But then we mustn't forget the sun sinks and there is a new morning eventually, and there is a new snowman growing.
Yeah.
And we are in it again.
That's how life works.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, and then
And that cycle, huh?
that's the cycle. And this is so mind-blowing. You can say these things and you can hear your own words, but you don't really understand it because it's too big.
Yes.
It's too big. But we can feel happy about it because somehow life looks after us. And spirit in life looks after us. That's why the Russian poet Boris Pasternak calls life my sister.
Oh,
He says, my sister life.
my. Can you please elaborate a little bit?
After I've gone to the toilet.
Yeah, sure.